Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Jamel from Fantasy Life, and today I want to talk about Titan Brawl versus LTS, Last Titan Standing, for those who don't know what those initials mean. And since Titan Brawl has come out, I've been playing a lot of Titan Brawl. I have completely, nearly forgot about LTS. And it's probably because Titan Brawl is the new kid on the block. It's the new game mode, and it's only for a limited time. So I want to play it as much as possible and learn everything I need to know about Titan Brawl. Whereas LTS, Last Titan Standing, is the old kid on the block. We already know everything about him. We hung out with him. We played with him. And we know everything about Last Titan Standing. So with this new kid on the block, yes, let's hang out with this guy. Let's see what he's about. Let's see what he got to offer. And in hindsight, we like what he has to offer. So, Titan Brawl versus Last Titan Standing, or can it even be a versus? Can these two beasts of a game mode exist in the same space and time and do well side by side together? Yes, they can, and I will touch on that a little bit later. But first of all, let's see what the differences are in these two particular game modes. What differentiates them from each other? Now, in Titan Brawl, which is the one I've been playing most recently, I'll touch on that first, since most people probably already know what it is by now. It is basically a team deathmatch with only Titans. Now, there is no pilots, there's no boost, it's just you and the Titans, mano y mano, and it's all out chaotic brawl, and it is awesome, I tell you. Now, Last Titan Standing is a little bit more complicated than that. It's that complicated relationship in Last Titan Standing, whereas Last Titan Standing is a deathmatch. It is not only a Titan deathmatch, because there are pilots, and pilots can actually get boosts if they're outside of their Titan long enough. So what's the difference then? Well, the difference is that in Titan Brawl, when you die, you immediately respawn, and in Last Titan Standing, if your Titan dies or if you die, you don't respawn. So there are certain differences other than being able to get out of your Titan. Now, in Last Titan Standing, there's a lot to it. It's a very complex kind of game mode, where it is a more competitive game mode, whereas Titan Brawl isn't as competitive. Titan Brawl is definitely a lot more casual, but there is something about Last Titan Standing's competitiveness that makes it extremely fun. I mean, Last Titan Standing is my second most played game mode in this particular game, and that's for a reason. And that's because, one, it does prioritize the Titans over like the pilots, meaning if your Titan dies, you are pretty much irrelevant as a pilot. Well, I won't say that, because pilots are pretty relevant in that particular game mode, but you can lose the game if all of the Titans die but your pilots are still alive. And that's what makes that game mode so interesting, is because in other game modes, it's if the pilot dies, then you lost, or anything like that, where your Titan can still be an auto Titan roaming around. This Last Titan Standing is vice versa. If your pilot dies and your Titan is still alive, the game mode will continue. But if your Titan dies and your pilot is still alive, the game mode is ended. You lost. Hence the reason Last Titan Standing. Now again, there is no spawns, no respawns. It is a round-based game mode where it is the first to win 3 games, and it can go up to 5 rounds in total if, you know, if one team wins 2 games and the other team wins 2 games, then it can go up to 5 rounds. They also prioritize Titan kills, just like they do in Titan Brawl, but whereas in Titan Brawl, the next thing that gets prioritized is deaths and then assists, in Last Titan Standing, it is kills and then Titan damage that is next prioritized, whereas they'll show you the amount of Titan damage you've been putting in, which kind of correlates with the amount of work you put in to help your team win that particular game. Whereas in Titan Brawl, the amount of work you put in to help your team win the game is limited to kills and the assists. So if you have a high assist, that means you did a lot to help your team get kills. So that's how it's signified and a little bit different. Now that is pretty cool. I like the whole assist system. I would like to see Titan damage in Titan Brawl, because you can also do a lot of Titan damage and not get assists, and not get any kills too. So I would like to have that a nice little differentiator as well too. Or I just like to see it. I like to see how much Titan damage I'm putting into these fools. Okay, that's just stroke my own ego. Okay, but with that being said, in Last Titan Standing though, pilots can be a bit of a nuisance. It's a very competitive game mode, and there are strategies that you can implement in Last Titan Standing that you cannot implement in Titan Brawl. Now in Last Titan Standing, you can get out of your Titan and then put the assault chip on your Titan and have your Titan, you know, fighting and doing all it needs to do, while you as a pilot are attacking from above in different angles. And then you're basically kind of jumping one Titan, where you have your Titan on auto assault, and then you're attacking them from different angles as a pilot, kind of like a 2-on-1 kind of scenario. That's a strategy that most people, or a lot of people, do tend to employ in Last Titan Standing. Another strategy people tend to employ is they'll run in as a Ronin, and they'll get as many attacks and hacks and slashes and shots off to get you down to as low as possible. Especially they try to do it if you're grouped together. They'll just try to hack up everybody, and then they'll do a nuclear eject and get up out of there and see what Titans they can take with them as they're flying out of their Titan. And that's a strategy that a lot of people do tend to employ in Last Titan Standing that you cannot employ in Titan Brawl. Now mind you, in Titan Brawl you cannot get out of your Titan at all. So those kind of strategies that needs you or requires you to kind of eject from your Titan or get out of your Titan, you cannot do that in Titan Brawl. So it just adds another level of strategy that you can employ in Last Titan Standing that you cannot employ in Titan Brawl, which that's another reason that makes Last Titan Standing so competitive. Another thing too is in Last Titan Standing, because it's a round-based game mode, when you die, you're dead. You have to wait to the next round. So a lot of people tend to play a little bit more cautiously in Last Titan Standing, because they don't want to die. They want to be that Last Titan Standing. They want to get all of the Titan kills and things like that. They want to do as much Titan damage as possible. So it's not a game mode for everybody. Not everybody wants that kind of level of competition, where that level of competition can be extremely fun. It's extremely exhilarating being the last Titan standing left, and that round depends on your shoulders. It's all on your shoulders. It's up to you whether you win it for the team or you become a dud and lose for everybody. So that is very, very awesome. And then on top of that is possibility where you can be the last Titan standing, and there could be like 3 other or 4 other pilots on your team trying to help you win. So just because you're the last Titan standing and you're going up against 5 other Titans doesn't mean that you're out for the count. If you have pilots on your team who can get you batteries and things of that nature. And that's another thing too, Last Titan Standing has batteries to help get you a shield to better preserve your Titan's life. So Last Titan Standing is a more competitive nature. It is valuable in that sense that it is competitive. It does kind of stand alone from Titan Brawl in that particular sense, whereas Titan Brawl is just a fun, super casual game mode. I will always say that because that's what it is. And even if it wasn't a limited time mode, I can see both of these game modes existing together, because there are people who don't want that super casual game mode. There's people who want a more competitive game mode. Hence the reason why there are game modes such as Pilot versus Pilot and Live Fire in this particular game, where those are 2 pilot only game modes, but one is casual and the other is competitive. And it's in the same vein as Titan Brawl and Last Titan Standing, whereas Pilot versus Pilot would be along the lines of a Titan Brawl, and Live Fire would be along the lines of a Last Titan Standing. and those two can exist in the same vein. In fact, they are in the playlist. You can literally choose both of those game modes to be in your mixtape playlist. So I would like to see Titan Brawl eventually make its way to the playlist and be able to be added to my mixtape playlist. I would love to be able to mixtape both Last Titan Standing and Titan Brawl, and kind of with each, you know, game ending, kind of cycle back between Last Titan Standing and Titan Brawl. That would be awesome, to just mix up a more casual gameplay with a more competitive gameplay. I would love that. That would be awesome, and I hope Respawn makes that happen, because just thinking about that just makes me jittery. Makes me super happy. But with that being said, Titan Brawl is only a limited time, so there's a lot of people playing Titan Brawl right now, where there's still people playing Last Titan Standing. There may not be as much people playing Last Titan Standing, because a lot of people who would typically play Last Titan Standing is probably playing, and more than likely playing, Titan Brawl, because it's only a limited time. And again, like I said, it's a new kid on the block. Now, this is just my opinion. I want everybody to be clear about that. This is just my opinion. I have zero facts to back this statement up, in terms of like there's less people playing Last Titan Standing than there is Titan Brawl. I have no facts at all with that. That's just my opinion. I'm assuming it, only because Titan Brawl is the new game mode, and it's a little bit easier to find a Titan Brawl match than it is a Last Titan Standing. You might just be waiting just a couple seconds longer to find a Last Titan Standing, which typically means that the player count in that particular game mode is a little bit less. So the difference, and can they exist in the same space and time? Why, yes. Another analogy I will use is what Call of Duty does with like their team deathmatch and their search and destroy. Now, team deathmatch is by far the most popular game mode in Call of Duty, and has the highest player count, because it's a super casual game mode. But then you have search and destroy, which has its own little community, which is not so little anymore, and they exist in the same space and time. So yes, they can exist. I hope Respawn makes Titan Brawl a permanent game mode. I would love to have this in my mixtape with Attrition, Bounty Hunt, Last Titan Standing, and Titan Brawl, and just cycle through those particular game modes, and just give variety to more people. There are people who play this game for the Titans, just like there's people who play this game for the awesome smooth movements of the pilots. So with that being said, if you like this video, smack that like button. If you hated this video, smack that dislike button. If you want to talk more about Last Titan Standing versus Titan Brawl, and what you think is better and what appeals to you, leave it in the comments below. Let's talk about this, guys, ladies and gentlemen. And with that being said, if you want more on Titanfall, subscribe to this channel, and remember, your life is a fantasy.